These are times when NFL players were absolutely fed up with referees.
Marshawn Lynch actually got his hands on an official. There's a chance he gets tossed.
Starting with a player who collected 3 penalties in 10 seconds, assaulted a referee, and had an insane crash out.
But there were 2 penalties against the Rams. He just threw his helmet, and here comes another flag.
The tension was through the roof in this Rams-Seahawks game. 18 total flags were thrown before the fourth quarter, and Kendall Langford's ejection sequence is one of the costliest displays of frustration in recent NFL history. It's the 2013 season finale. Late in the third quarter, a light scuffle breaks out, and the officials hit the Rams with a penalty. Langford, a defensive tackle, runs over to argue the call, and instead of arguing, Langford makes contact with the official while pleading his case. And you know the rule, touch the ref, automatic penalty. The crew immediately throws a second flag, and then they toss him from the game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 98 of the defense, contact with an official. That is half the distance to the goal as well, and his actions disqualified himself from the game.
Langford is furious, refusing to accept the call, but it's finalized. As he heads off the field, the frustration boils over, and he picks up a third penalty on himself.
But there were 2 penalties against the Rams. He just threw his helmet, and here comes another flag. Probably costing him a lot of coin right now, too.
The Seahawks scored on the very next play, winning the game. Langford's fit cost the team momentum, the game, and him specifically $7,875 in fines from the NFL. But what this next official did left every NFL fan in complete shock and anger. You're trailing by 3 points with 3 minutes left. You get the game-changing sack. You celebrate, and then the ref throws a flag after running into you? We all know the NFL has cracked down on taunting, but what happens when the official looks like he's trying to instigate the foul? We have the tape and the post-game quotes where Cashius Marsh calls out the blatant double standard. Bears vs. Steelers 2021. Pittsburgh is up 23-20. Chicago's defense needs a stop, and on third down, Cashius Marsh delivers, sacking Big Ben and forcing a punt. The Bears are about to get the ball back with a chance to win. After the sack, Marsh does his signature celebration, ending up near the Steelers sideline. He wasn't aggressive, but in the league's climate, a look can be a flag. But watch what happens next, because the official doesn't throw the flag until he makes contact with Marsh.
At the conclusion of the play, taunting. Defense number 59.
Marsh turns to run off the field, jogging past head referee Tony Correnti. As Marsh passes, Correnti appears to lean in and initiate the contact, what Marsh would later call a hip check. Only then does the yellow flag fly. The taunting penalty is called, and the drive is extended.
On the way, and good. Fields under some pressure. Throws on the run, lofts one of the end zone, it is caught! To put the Steelers back on top.
In his post-game press conference, Marsh was clearly emotional, saying, quote, "Won't say too much because y'all know how it is," a clear sign he feared an NFL fine for criticizing the refs. But he did make this powerful point.
It's pretty clear to everybody who saw it that I wasn't taunting. On my way to the sideline, I got hip checked by the ref, and it's pretty clear. If I were to do that to a ref or even touch the ref, we get kicked out of the game and possibly suspended and fined. So I just think that was incredibly inappropriate.
But what about when Patrick Mahomes had a complete meltdown because for once, the referees didn't coddle him like a baby?
Fucking terrible.
Down by 3, under 2 minutes left. Mahomes' magic is required. What happened next should have been an instant highlight reel touchdown, but it instantly became the most controversial and costly penalty of the entire 2023 season. This was a brutally correct call that resulted in a Chiefs loss and a combined $150,000 in fines for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Chiefs-Bills late in the fourth. Buffalo just took a 20-17 lead. Mahomes gets the ball back and marches Kansas City across midfield. The Super Bowl champs need a single strike to win this rivalry match. The next play should have gone down as one of the most insane regular season highlights ever, but a flag at the line of scrimmage would completely change everything.
Number 19, offense, lined up in the neutral zone. Wow.
Tony had lined up with his foot completely over the line of scrimmage, a correct but rarely called penalty in that situation. The touchdown is erased. The Chiefs would then turn the ball over on downs, losing the game, and Patrick Mahomes was not happy about it.
What is going on here with Mahomes?
I just said that frustration is growing for Mahomes.
Fucking terrible.
Aw, what's wrong? Is crybaby Mahomes upset that the referees didn't cheat to benefit him for once? But the league wasn't done. The post-game comments from Mahomes and coach Andy Reid cost them dearly. For criticizing the officials, Reid was hit with a $100,000 fine and Mahomes owed $50,000. 150 bans for a correct but game-changing penalty. We know NFL offenses like to get creative, but what about the time this team used an NFL referee to score a touchdown? Vikings vs. Commanders 2022. Early in the third quarter, Washington quarterback Taylor Heinicke throws up a prayer into triple coverage.
As Heinicke avoids pressure and heaves it deep. Samuel, the officials down there, and Samuel makes the catch!
It should have been an interception, but the official got in the way. The question is, why did this touchdown count? The Commanders, trailing 7-3, needed a spark. Heinicke takes a deep shot to Curtis Samuel downfield. Viking safety Cameron Bynum is running stride for stride with two other defenders, lined up perfectly for an interception. Bynum has his eyes glued to the ball and is about to make a play, but running in the wrong direction, straight into the path of the converging defender is the back judge. The inevitable contact is seconds away. Boom! The referee runs directly into Bynum, completely taking the safety out of the play. Bynum goes down, the coverage is broken, and Samuel is left completely alone to haul in the pass for the end zone for the score. And real ball knowers know that the touchdown counted because the officials are a part of the field, meaning if they get in your way, it doesn't matter. The fluke touchdown gave the Commanders the lead, and for a long stretch, it looked like it would be the difference maker, but in the end, the Vikings' fourth quarter comeback was strong enough to overcome the officials' interference, winning 20-17. Imagine being so furious at an official's call that you take matters into your own hands.
The flag ended up in the stand.
This was a 5-point game in the final minutes. The Chiefs' defense was melting down under a barrage of penalties. Marcus Peters, boiling over, committed the cardinal sin, throwing a piece of official equipment into the crowd. But the wildest part, the referee didn't eject him. Peters ejected himself. Jets-Chiefs 2017. The Jets scored a touchdown to go up 36-31 and attempted a 2-point conversion. It fails, but a flag comes out for defensive holding. The Chiefs' discipline had evaporated, and Peters, watching from the outside, had had enough. The penalty wasn't even on him, but he was the angriest man on the field. He stomps over to the yellow flag, picks it up, and in a moment of pure, unadulterated frustration, did this.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for this act by Marcus Peters.
Yes, Peters just hoisted.
The official immediately throws his hat for an unsportsmanlike conduct on Peters since he no longer has a flag. Peters, assuming he's ejected for tossing the flag, walks off the field and heads straight to the locker room.
And Peters is being escorted off. Peters completely lost his cool. It's happened before.
But here's the kicker. The referees never officially ejected him. A Chiefs staffer had to go chase him down in the tunnel and bring him back. The Jets converted the redo and won the game. The aftermath for Peters was swift. The NFL hit him with a $24,000 fine for the unsportsmanlike conduct, but the Chiefs themselves suspended him for the next game against the rival Raiders, not only for the flag toss, but also an ensuing argument with a coach. But what about when a ref completely killed a playoff run? A potential game-tying touchdown in the final minute erased by a penalty so rare that the official actually lied to a player about it. But the worst part, that wasn't even the final missed call of the drive.
Oh, a lot of contact there.
Wow.
A lot of contact there.
All over him.
Giants versus Commanders 2022. Final minute of a must-win game. We have the tape of Terry McLaurin clearly communicating with the line judge, who seemingly confirms that he's lined up correctly, only to throw the flag anyway. This sequence of calls didn't just cost the Commanders the game, it cost them a playoff spot. The Commanders are trailing by 8 points, driving on the goal line with less than a minute remaining. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to force overtime. On 3rd and goal, Brian Robinson punches it in. The score is 20-19, but the celebration is cut short because of a flag on the play.
Illegal formation, offense number 17. He was not lined up on the line of scrimmage, therefore he left the tackle uncovered.
The replay shows McLaurin looking directly at the official, pointing, adjusting his stance, and getting what he thought was confirmation he was good, but the official threw the flag anyway. The touchdown is gone. The penalty pushes them back. After a couple of desperate plays, it comes down to 4th and goal from the 6. Taylor Heineke throws a pass into the end zone, it falls incomplete, and the game is over.
Looked like Thibodeau got poked in the eye as he was like, look at Holmes. Holmes has to be draped.
No flag, 0 penalties. The commentators and analysts were screaming DPI. A penalty there would have given the Commanders one more untimed down to tie the game. Instead, the Giants won 20-12. The 1-2 punch of the ticky-tacky illegal formation call, followed by the final blatant DPI no call, proved fatal. The Giants finished the season 1 game ahead of the Commanders for the final NFC wildcard spot. This final minute of officiating controversy didn't just lose Washington a rivalry game, it officially derailed their season and cost them a trip to the playoffs.